Right guys, it's going to be a little bit more of an easy going one today. I'm going to talk about this and the reason why I didn't buy a Tesla. But first of all, a big shout out to Hartford Car Valeting. Amazing job they do in my car every time. See you later. She's nice and clean now. She wasn't even dirty, it was just like dust on it really. So a little bit of context guys. A little over a year ago, if you haven't been watching the channel you won't know what I've been up to, but basically a little over a year ago, sorry hang on. Oh, I love that. So yeah, basically a little bit over a year ago I decided I wasn't going to buy something electric like as my main car. I was literally going to just modify what I've got and just get a bit more performance out of the car that I had, which is this Audi TT. This is an Audi TT S-Line. It's not an S, not a TTS, not an RS, nothing like that. It's basically just a sort of standard TT with a black pack and some nice wheels and everything else. You know, it's got a lot of optional extras that were standard. I didn't buy this from new, so I paid just over, I think it's about 20,000 for it to start with, and yeah, I was pretty happy with it. But you know, as time went on, I was kind of like, I need a little bit more performance. I want a little bit more performance. So I did a whole thing on the channel about modifying this car, making it, you know, faster, and now it is probably pushing double the amount of power than it did when it came out of the factory, reliably as well, because this is a tried and tested modification setup that I've got on here. But yeah, I've basically now got myself a 450 brake horsepower TT, which is faster than the fastest version of the TT that you can buy currently. Well, obviously that's going to be stopped soon because everything's kind of going electric, and the performance is absolutely savage. It annihilates Teslas. It will blow Teslas out of the water because it's just got so much more. Why is someone literally just behind? Yeah, so what was I saying? So this has got about 500 newton meters of torque and it's running about 450 brake horsepower. It's light. It weighs 1,500 kilos, something like that, less than that actually. So its brake horsepower per ton is actually a little bit more than the Tesla. So that's probably the reason why I'm sort of quicker off the line. Okay, look, this banter with the EVs thing is obviously quite funny to me, but you know, ultimately I know EVs can be quicker. You know, they've got the potential to be very, very fast, and the power to weight ratios are only going to increase. So the day will come eventually where you won't be able to touch electric with an ICE car at all. But right now you can, because they're not crazy performance. Tesla Model S Plaid, that's pretty nuts, not going to lie. But how many of those do you see? It's still a huge amount of money to pay for just for all that performance that you can't really use on the road anyway. Whereas this is just good fun because it's lightweight, it's small, it can zip in and out. You know, you can get up to speed really quickly, up to the speed limits, and then, you know, back down. You know, I didn't really do the work myself on this car. I was overseeing a lot of it and trying to understand how it all you know, went together. But yeah, it's turned out really, really well, and I'm really, really happy with this car. And it's meant that I haven't bought another new car. I haven't, you know, gone down that route of, you know, buying something else. I've just modified and used what I've got. Now, my other plan was to basically stick some hub motors on this eventually. That was my thoughts. You know, maybe I could sort of build a hybrid and do it, you know, do that. I know you guys, a lot of you guys have been saying, you know, in the comments below, you want to see me build an EV. It's quite difficult because I haven't really got a workshop and stuff at the moment, and you know, all of that. But I've been modifying cars and electric stuff for quite some time, so I feel like I'm getting to that point. Maybe that's what's going to happen. I don't know. We'll have to see. You guys need to subscribe and do all the usual stuff and like and try and push my videos out so I can generate a bit of money for these projects, because you know, all this stuff's like really, really expensive. Buying batteries is super expensive, and everything else. Anyway guys, I'm going to stick some fuel in here. Should take me around 2 or 3 minutes to fill this up and give me about 300 miles. And it's obviously going to cost me more than the electric would cost me for that sort of range. Of course it is, but I don't really care because I drive this about, I don't know, 3,000 miles a year, something like that. And I'm actually getting a lot of fun for that money, so I'm not bothered. I still love the interior in this thing as well. Look, I didn't actually fill it right up. I only stuck in about 30 quid. But yeah, look, the interior is so nice. And you know, the Tesla, it's just not like that. It doesn't look as good as that. That just, to me, just looks so on point. It's so stylish. You know, it's got everything where you want it to be. You haven't got to go through menus to get to like stupid things like turning the heating on or turning the air conditioning on. It's all just buttons. You know, it's very, very straightforward. You know, the display itself is just about the right amount of tech that I would want from a car. This is not connected either. There's no SIM card in it. No one can start messing around with my car or watch how fast I'm going or anything like that. There's no cameras in here watching what I'm doing. I haven't even got a dash cam in here apart from the GoPro that's obviously charging right now. But yeah, generally, you know, the interior and everything, I just absolutely love. I love this car. And that is what I'm talking about in the other video. It's like the emotional connection to it. I just feel great in this car. You know, sometimes I forget how much I've done to this car actually. And even so, it still hasn't cost me the price of like a Model S Performance. Definitely not. You know, with all of the mods included, definitely haven't spent that sort of money. You know, like the brakes and everything else, everything's high performance on here. The suspension's been tuned and everything. I haven't even got a stupid exhaust on here, but they are just such pretty cars, aren't they? Tesla just doesn't look that good, I'm sorry. Okay, there's more space in a Tesla, I'll give them that, but other than that, nah. Well, I'm going to stop being a dick now and winding people up. I do appreciate it. I'm in a fortunate position and that I don't have to drive a huge amount of miles. I've already said that before. And I can have something nice like this. And I use the Twizy for just getting around town and e-bikes. And then I've got this as like my bit of fun. And I don't see that there's a problem with that. You know, I really don't. But if I did have to drive long distances and you know, mileage was really, really important and getting the best, you know, value for my miles, for my money, in terms of like how many miles I get for how many pounds I put in, then yeah, I'd absolutely consider EV, because it is getting there. It really is getting there. If I had to do a lot of miles and I could charge at home, and I was doing that and I was just commuting and basically I didn't have to rely on any public charging, I would look at EV as a serious sort of contender. I wouldn't buy a new one though. I'd buy something used, definitely, and I'd try and stay away from anything that potentially could be involved in sort of some kind of subscription service in the future. That sort of thing. That's what I'd look at. You know, I do sort of know what I'm talking about, guys, even though I'm, you know, winding people up and stuff. But yeah, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Just a bit of fun. Don't take it too seriously. I can tell what the comments are going to do here, but anyway, should be good fun. Catch you later.